Hey, this is Dave, just doing an update on the house. We finally got it finished. I'm here today just meeting the inspectors. I have plumbing, HV, electrical, and final build all scheduled for today. I just got the approval stickers on the plumbing and HVAC, so that's good. So I'll just give you, let me just pan this out a little bit. Give you just a tour real quick. Electrical panel. I used a labeler, got all the panel properly labeled. Everything's painted, casing, doors, just the whole 9 yards. Electrical, show you this. Got these closets. Justin built these heavy duty. These are just awesome shelves. We're gonna do it like this from now on. Take the extra time instead of buying. We used to just put the ledger cleats and just get the 3/4 inch. Those seem to sag over time. So we just put 3/4 plywood in this face piece and then a double piece under this, and it's super strong. Routed it. So we did that throughout the whole house. And then nothing special, you know. This is the master bedroom. I think I did a video where I said I'd give an update on the floors. The floors turned out good, but I can honestly say we're not professionals. I think we made a mistake. I used a heavy nap to put down the urethane, and we did sand between the coats, but maybe from that sun, you can see there's like little slight, I think that when you roll it and when you have a thick nap like that, it traps little air bubbles in the urethane. And you can't see them just normally. It's smooth. It looks like it's not because of those bubbles, but we smoothed it. But I think if I was to do this again, I probably would just use one of those applicators. It just seems like with an applicator, you'd be pushing a lot, and maybe you couldn't control the amount you're putting on it. I like the idea of the roller because it's just easy to kind of equally roll the urethane, but next time I'm definitely going to try just one of those push applicators that you would usually use, I guess, for stain. But anyways, they turned out good though. It's very sanded. We wood fillered it really good. It's all tight. It looks like one sheet. In that respect, it's nice. There's a couple ripples in there. You'll find on a lot of other videos that even the professionals struggle with the ripples. They still don't know for sure. It could be crud built up on the drum. It could be the machine itself is a little off. It could be the reality of the physical nature of going across, but ripples tend to happen. But as an entirety, it looks really good. We've got really strong lighting in this house. We have a fan here. This is a small bedroom, so we didn't even put a fan. The fan would probably make it look smaller. We just put a light. We've got heavy plugs. This is a 20 amp circuit, 20 amp circuit. Let's keep going here. Laundry room. I love this room, the way it turned out. This used to be a fourth bedroom, but we figured you don't need that for a rental. It's just, for this size house, a 4-bedroom would probably just invite big families, and it's just better to have a 3-bedroom with a laundry. So here's the water heater that we actually had to replace yesterday. The one that was in here was only 1.5 years old. We tried to use it again. It ended up leaking. So we got the same exact one. I put a light in here. I just used the insulation as much that came off the old one and plus the new one just to keep that hot pipe covered a little bit. We have a pan with a plug. We put the escutcheon plates on there. It turned out decent. We've got the ground wire running through from the panel that does the tri-bond to there, and then it bonds to the gas pipe there. So that's that. I did notice that the drain on the new one, even though it's the same exact one, over the last few years, they put that nice brass one. The other one was a cheap plastic one, and they probably had a lot of problems with that, so they switched it to a brass drain fitting, which I like. All right, we got that. We went ahead and Nikki and I decided that with it being a nice house to get it rented faster, I went with some nice Maytags, washer and dryer here. You know, the dump box, hoses are all hooked up. When rentals, we did an electric too option, but this is gas, but you want to provide both. Let's see, moving on. Just trying to point out some of the stuff that's somewhat interesting in a small house tour. Here's the bathroom. I think it turned out good. I'm not an interior designer, but I think we kind of picked the colors nice. We went with a gray vanity base, some grayish white tile. You know, gray's the theme in here. Sometimes with rentals, you want to just buy a couple accessories, you know, I think we even have soap in this. Here I am in the mirror. Not too many people get to see me very often, but here I am. Yeah, we have it all set up. We went with a nice quiet fan. You know, the fan's nice and quiet. Sometimes I guess you don't want it too quiet if if you have some rough stuff going on in here. But okay, let's move on. Small bedroom, closet, coat closet. And then in this room, we have the fan light, the fan, we have recessed cans, and we have a lot of plugs in here. A few of these plugs are shagged off of a switch here in case they wanted to put some lamps. And here's the kitchen. Here's like the meter. We went ahead and put some discussion plates on there, put some shelves in here. It turned out really nice. Justin did all of this stuff. We actually added a light in here. Oh, it's out here. I'm reaching inside. Figured just flip it on there. So you can see your food in case you're getting hungry. And here's the kitchen. We went with a nice dining room light. We hung it low for the table. We kind of went with a little bit fancier grade. And then here's the kitchen. Finally, it's clean. Stove, we got the anti-tip thing on this thing, so a kid, I think they said, and it kind of makes sense, they said that obviously a kid's not strong enough to grab the stove right here, but if a kid opened this up and leaned onto this, it's enough leverage that it could tip and then it would crush their body, it would close on them. And once I saw the image of that on the instructions, I'm like, that does make sense. You know, so it's just a bracket you mount there, and then one of the leveling legs slides under the bracket and it locks in. So I think that's a good idea. And I believe it's code now too. If you're doing new construction, you want an anti-tip stove bracket there. And then a fridge, nice new fridge. And then we're all set to go. It's raining outside pretty good, but I'm gonna go outside real quick. And we went with these kind of like a real dark, almost black screen door. We stained it. I got a couple welcome mats because, welcome the new prospective people that want to rent. Here's the deck stained. Landscape with the hostas in it. Luckily, since I have kind of a plant nursery on the side, I don't really have to buy these plants anymore. I just grow them and see if I can do it's a Spirea Little Princess, Allium, Annabelle Hydrangea, Weigela Java Red, Spirea Little Princess, Daisy Montauk. And then these landscape stones are mortared in to where tenants can't kick them and move them. They're just locked in place. So when you get a vacancy, it's just easier to just redo your landscaping again. And we got the graspable handrail that's code. I kind of wish the inspectors would call me back because they know I'm here. Bill, he's the plumbing and HVAC guy. He came and inspected, and he said that Carrie, the electrical inspector, was in the area, but they're not calling me back. It's scheduled. They'll be here, but once they're done, I can leave. And it's a rainy day, and Justin's working on other stuff today, so I kind of want to just go home. But I can't, not until they're here. But yeah, let me get a nice... Sorry if this is kind of a boring video. I'm just glad that this is done. This is this is my official last day, and this right here, you're looking at a terrible fire project. Everything inside was ruined, water damage, rotting stuff from even just before. This whole wall was rotted. We had to take off everything. Some of the videos show it, but not all of it. We had all this crap. This was a rough one, and we got it done. Tearing out and all that stuff, among managing other houses and doing things at my house build, we got it done in about 11 months. So I guess that's decent. Just little things we had to fix. We put a new latch on here. This was missing a latch, and I had to tie this up, and We repaired some of the boards on the fence, planted grass. I built a wooden access panel. Everything had to be brought up to code. We got the disconnect, the riser. Just dealing with Edison to move this line from there to there was like a month. We put a motion sensing flood on the back. You know, all this grass came in, and a little bit of loose end that I'm leaving because, oh my gosh, you know, I got to get the trailer and I don't have the labor as this stuff. I had to pay to get this tree chopped down way up here, and they chopped it down to about here, and it started putting out the suckers. So I decided, let's just get rid of this tree because that's just, and then like all this stuff. There's junk in there, the wood that I left from that. My chain, my bar burned up, or else these pieces would have been loaded up. But I figured, you know, geez, we got to give the tenants something to complain about, I guess. Oh, we forgot to pull these nails off this fence. But yeah, this is it, you know. We got rid of the fire pit because given fires, and it's kind of funny now that they moved the wire from here over to here, it put the fire pit right under the new wire, so that's not good. So what we did is we just burned a pit right in the grass with the stuff we had to burn, and then we just replanted over that too. So given the circumstances of this particular house that it burned down, I don't feel like I wanted to re-put a fire pit because it could go there, but no fire pits. Not for this rental. So that's the tour. I'm glad to be done, and now we're just going to go back to working on the house build. So hopefully people enjoyed the journey with me on this. It's been a tough one. All right, this is Dave signing off.